G'day guys, you've gone out, you've got yourself your new rod and reel, you've got the line and you've put it on your reel like we've told you to. So now it's time for lure selection. So I'm going to run you through a few of our favourite lures that we use on Berra Natives. Starting off with probably what's the most renowned fishing lure for our native species, and that's the stump jumper range. This is a size 1, 100mm, big commanding presence in the water. A physical lure that will get a strike because of its size. It will intimidate big cod into strike. Great all-round lure, a flexible lure as well because it has an interchangeable bid system, so it has 2 diving depths. It has an 8mm diving depth if you have the big bib in, as you can see on this one, or if you change it to the smaller bib, it will dive to about 3.5 meters. So that's a good all-round lure, accounted for hundreds and thousands of natives across Australia, so you can't go wrong if you're using the stump jumper range. Moving now on to what is probably our favourite lure at Berra Natives, and that's the Orgy Plo 70mm size, pictured here. Great lure, got a huge action, vibrating lure. You can hear that really loud vibrating. It's accounted for a lot of fish on our page, so we'd definitely suggest getting a few of these guys. Some great different colour options. You got the eyes on the back of this one. Black and silver is accounted for a lot of fish, and the purple or white as well. So these are all great lures that can account for some good fish. All the ones we were mentioning so far is what they call a suspending floating lure. So basically you'll cast out and it will just sit on top of the water until your wind or the boat or your kayak is moving along, and that will cause the bib to then dip into the water, and it'll go along like this to its depth. If you stop winding, then it will go back up. So it's a good way if you're targeting tight against some snags. You can cast in nice and tight, work your way down. If you feel you're bumping into the snags, you can let it float up a bit and then keep going along. And every now and then, if you do happen to get snags, sometimes you've been lucky enough for the lure to float itself out of the snag back on top of the surface. So that's the Orgy 75mm plough. The AC lure range, this is the Invader, the 70mm. They can go right up to 155mm, which is a really popular lure at Blowing Dam and places like that. Big lure, great presence. If you're going for big fish, use big lures. This is a huge guy. Nice slow wobble in the water because it's so big. Plenty of different colours in that range, so they're also worth checking out. Got the Viking lure range here. It's a translucent lure, you can see through there. Nice slim line lure, big bib, gets down to about 5 meters. Haven't tried this guy out, so can't wait to give it a go. But yeah, so the Viking lure range, that's a new one that we can't wait to give a go. The Poltergeese range, this is a very famous lure because it accounted for the Australian record Murray cod. Very versatile lure, great shape, catch a yellow belly or Murray cod. Big range of lures and different sizes as well. So this is the 80mm one, dives to about 5 meters, so that's worth a look as well. The Predatech range, they're also a very popular lure. I've caught plenty of yellow belly in particular on these guys. They get right down nice and deep, and they're a really vicious side-by-side action, really slim line through the water. So they're worth checking out. And a new one that we've come across is the Livingstone Dive Master. This is a new American lure that has been in a few of our local tackle shops. And it's unique because it has an LED light system, which we'll try and get going. So when it's swimming along, the eyes will actually light up every 30 seconds or so. So let's test that theory out. And so the jury's still out on the LED lights, whether they actually work or not. But regardless, this lure has got a really big body. So I think it's, regardless of the LED lights, is a lure worth getting. We've had some really good reports of yellow belly and dugong on this guy. He doesn't want to perform for us at the moment, but we'll try and get him lighting up while we talk about the spinnerbaits. So the spinnerbaits are a lure that we would usually use just casting. So you can troll these guys, but most of the time it's a casting lure. So at its most simple form, it's got 2 bibs, big blades like this, and then there's additional features like skirts, which are a great attracting thing to a fish. It will look like a yabby or something crawling along the water like that. So you can picture the blades will be spinning through the water, causing a vibration and a flash, and then they'll see this beautiful skirt going along and they'll just attack it. And so these are a great lure. If you are after the big Murray cod, definitely put on a nice big paddle tail soft plastic edition. You can put a stinger hook as well, just to increase your hookup rate. But they're a big soft plastic, so that will cause more vibrations in addition to the blades going around. So they're a great option. What you got to do is just cast out and retrieve really at a slow pace. Just let that bounce all along the bottom, get in the face, into the face of the cod who will be hiding in amongst the snags. So cast out one really, really slow, and inevitably you'll have a big fish come up and grab it, hopefully. And with the lures, we were just talking about all the suspending divers. If you're trolling, go along at about 1.2 miles per hour or 2 kilometers, a nice slow speed, give the cod or yellow belly plenty of time to have a look at it. And if you're casting from ashore, just a nice steady wind, you know, impart a bit of action through the rod, give it a flick or two just to give it an extra action that might inject the fish to come and attack it. So yeah, there are a few of our favourite lures. There's so many out there to choose from. So, you know, you'll find out in your own time which ones you prefer. But explore with the different colours and the different sizes, and you'll inevitably find out which ones you'll prefer. So hopefully that will help you out somewhat.